Hi, thank you for watching a new video blog. Today I'm going to be talking openly and honestly about some of my demons that I'm conquering in my life. One of the demons that I want to talk about is gluttony. It is one of the sins, and I can see why. At first, gluttony seems harmless. You enjoy food. You are what we say in the Netherlands, a Bourgondier. Somebody that enjoys eating. Somebody that likes good food and is somebody that has maybe talent to cook food. That's a good thing. It's good when people have a talent for food. And I can say I have a talent for food. I have the talent to be always looking up new things to try to cook. I'm open to trying new things, but it's also risky because food, of course, can turn into gluttony. Loving food can turn into gluttony. And this happened to me. My love for food became an open door for a demon that took over and was sort of dominating my thinking, and I got obsessed with food. Now, you may have looked at me and you can see all our videos that I've never been obese, maybe a bit overweight at certain points, but I always took care of my body. But still, this demon was haunting me and is also up until this day trying to haunt me. So if you really enjoy food, then you set your door open to the enjoyment of food. But this is also, if you're not careful, a way where the demon, maybe from past generations, can come into your life and start talking you into overeating. And someday you're surprised that you're like, hey, what is it with me? I have this food in the room and I cannot say I don't need it. I'm not going to eat it. Why am I becoming so obsessed with eating it? And like I say, I'm quite clean. I, for example, lost easily weight. I maintain my weight. I am never been really obese, say a little bit overweight. But still, in my mind, the feeling of gluttony, the urge of gluttony was there. And I could, for example, hold it off 2 weeks. But then there was a day that I was like, okay, now it's time to feed my demon, my monster, and let go and eat just what I want, and basically feel sick afterwards. And I'm not talking about throwing up or anything, but just like oversaturated, too full, not feeling good afterwards. Now, always scientists try to blame nature, like genetics. They say, oh, you have these genes that are this and that. I don't really believe that. Because I think that gluttony can only exist in an unnatural world, where there's unnatural food. Also when there is an unnatural amount of availability of food. Because if you now want something, you can just run to the supermarket and get it. So easy. I used to live in the city and it was just like a 2-minute walk and I was in the supermarket. I could get anything I want. So this demon is, of course, only here because we turned the world upside down. Instead of food is relatively scarce and is very nutritious so that you will not overeat because you get your nutrients, it turned into empty calories of all this plants grains, etc. And now you might say like, hey, but you are a carnivore, you are eating mostly animal-based, how can you then still feel this urge? Well, also in the carnivore world, you can overeat. And you can also cheat, of course. And like I say, I'm not doing it very often, but if I do, I say my boundaries are very thin. I eat whatever I like. Or if it's one day in the month or 2 days in the month, it still has an effect on you. And also with the carnivore diet, you can really overeat or make foods that are carnivore or animal based, but still too much calories, too much processed, and etc. So yeah, even as a carnivore, you have, even with natural food around you, you have to be careful, because there is an abundance of food in the supermarket, and I can order also, because I barely visit the supermarket, but I can also go to my farmers, where 95% of the time I buy my food, and I can get raw butter, raw milk, and I can raw cheese, and I can overeat on that as well. So I've learned, and that's the importance from ancestral worshipping, from looking at your ancestors. I learned, for example, from my mother's side of the family, that you can also enjoy not eating the whole time. And I had always the idea, okay, I have to eat 3 times a day, at least. Also as a carnivore animal-based person. But I found out that if you lower the amount of calories that you eat, or if you lower the amounts of eating moments, for example, instead of 3 times, 2 times, breakfast and dinner, that you will feel amazing. And that you are overcoming your demon, your gluttony demon. And that is how I'm now fighting off this demon. And I did it before, because there were times where I was also clean and in control. But it is very difficult with a demon. If you're not focusing on being in the light and being clean, the demon can come back. He knows your weakness. And this is my weakness. That was the voice of my ancestors and God guiding me, helping me to stay in the light of Jesus. And so slowly I could return, and now I can say that I have the gluttony more or less under control. The demon is smoked out. But like I say, it's my weak point. I have to stay focused, that especially with food, that I'm not going to be drawn to the idea that overeating is necessary in the first place, so that I can incorporate more fasting. And I'm not talking about a day without eating, but I'm talking about lowering your calories, eating twice a day instead of 3 times, having a day where you sleep with a little bit of hunger, and you even feel better than when you overeat. So now I am being shown by God, and the example from my ancestors. For example, my mom, she lives like this. She doesn't eat a lot. She's she has like a certain amount of calories that she eats. She's slim, of course. She can look at food and say, no, I don't eat it today. Eat it another time. She can have it in her drawer, for example. Some food, she can just leave it there. So with help from ancestors and God, you can overcome demons. And that's the amazing thing, that I start to smoke out my demon of gluttony. That was it for today. From DAR Salaam, I say thank you for watching, and see you next time.